he was was drafted in 1966, November of '66, and went to Vietnam in January of 1968.
Yeah.
If I got the numbers right. Okay, I got the cheat sheet here. We're from southern Illinois, around Carlisle Lake, 50 miles east of St. Louis, and we have one son and 3 grandchildren, 19, 9, and 3. He's going to have to work the rest of his life to put these kids through school. And Larry worked for Rockwell International and retired from there. And really, he was forced to retire when he had his stroke in 2005. And we do a lot of traveling, and
You make
help-
wine.
and we make wine. We have our, yes, yes, we make lots of wine. We just moved from 4,400 square house to a 1,700, so we got rid of a lot of stuff. And it's in chaos right now. Our son took our house and we took his house, because with 3 kids, he needed a bigger house. So, anything you want to say?
Nope.
Since I did all the,
If you make a lot of wine, do you drink a lot of wine?
Oh, yes.
We've been on the Shawnee Wine Trail 2 weeks ago and come back with 4 cases of wine. We've only gone one day.
I'm Larry Sunley. Everybody knows me as Butch, and my first 30 years was in Illinois, and I had to meet Bob right in Vietnam. He was from Illinois. He was my resupply sergeant, and I made it the whole year, and during that time Stovall was one of my lieutenants, and I didn't join the Army, but I went to basic in Fort Leonard Wood, AIT in Fort Polk, and then the rest in Fort Hood. And I was drafted June the 20th. June the 17th, I was one of the elders. Around June the 17th or 18th, which happened to be a Tuesday, I got a divorce at 25 years old. And everybody told me, I told them I didn't want a divorce. I was still draft exempt, 26 and married. And all my friends says, man, the draft board won't catch up with you and you'll be 26 in August the 17th. And I took the chance. That was Tuesday. Thursday, I was in St. Louis. That was my Army career for 2 years. My ex was at the draft board when the judge said, we do. On my way to St. The next day, I got a letter in the mail. That was my 2 years in the Army.
Wrapping up. My name is Jerry DeSotko. Was drafted in 1968. My story is a little bit about like Doug Burnett's story. I actually did my basic training in Fort Lewis and then on to artillery school in Fort Sill. Get to Vietnam, do the same thing, get to bayonet, I think it is. There was 5 of us that were in artillery. Field forces, I needed some field forces, and the only thing different was the sergeant there said, how many of you guys are married? And the guys that were married held their hands up. Me and another guy weren't married. You and you are going to field forces. So that's how I ended up with Delta Company. And, I was with Delta Company from about when Lee, you got hit. Because that was my second day. Well, it was the worst day of my life, I think. I said, man, is it gonna be like this every day? I never survived this. So every time I seen Lee, it was, I guess they would have been putting you on a medevac.
Yeah.
There was quite a few guys there. So, but anyway, I survived it all. Ended up staying with you guys till about October, November. Got a job at the Fire Direction Center, which was, I'd have rather, Doug, you liked it. I would rather been out in the field. It was a busy time for me. I didn't, but anyway, got back home, got married. I'm a small businessman for the ladies. I sell sewing machines, vacuum cleaners. Been doing it for 40 years, sell and service some, do that sort of thing. Have 4 kids, daughter and 3. Of course, they're all great. They're all growing now, and my 4 kids, 3 boys were in the service, are all home safe. Got my first grandbaby 5 months ago.
Oh.
63. A few years ago, my wife and I, empty nesters, we decided we'd do some foster care, foster children. And we got a boy and a girl about 3 years ago. And last year we ended up adopting them. So now I'm starting off. So I got a 12 and a 14. They've been a great blessing, and God has been good to us. So that's my story. Last year, she couldn't be with me this year, so it's not quite the same. I wish she could, but anyway, maybe next time.
Yes, sir. All done.
I'm not gonna do my imitation of Jim Glasscock, but when I was addressing you people as my family, I want to introduce you to my lovely wife, Joan. She's been up to a lot, and for her 65th birthday, I bought her a brand new Buick. And
leave home?
I had an old Ford Taurus with 185,000 miles on it, so I'm going to try to sell it. You know, I had my buddy detail it for us, and okay. And I'm trying to sell the car. My buddy Ange, a couple streets over, he's a shade tree mechanic. He does my brakes and little stuff like that. And he's, how you doing, Red, selling that car? I said, well, I can't get the car off a jump. He said, well, why don't you drive that brand new one? Oh, she's saving it. I said, she put another 500 miles on the old Ford Taurus. He says, and then again, you ask me, why didn't I run for political office? This guy's just an old shade tree mechanic, and this is the advice he gives me. Well, promise you'll buy her another new car. I said, but when? He said, when she turns 90.
Last year I took some statistics, and how many people had a Purple Heart? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. I think I got it wrong. Okay, if we did this again, would anybody be interested in playing golf?
Nah, you don't
We did this, I do OCS reunions also, and the first year we did golf at Fort Benning. I don't know if you've ever played golf at Fort Benning.
We not
Somebody
playing this
took a
time?
bulldozer and they had a forest, and they just drove the bulldozer through the forest. And that's the golf course. Yeah. But anyway, I thought, well, you know, that'd be something to do, just play golf. So I only had 4. 1 more time. 2, 3.
I said I never used it.
Lee, you mentioned 5 people tomorrow.
Right.
3.
About 5 of them gonna show up tomorrow.
Okay, were they in Delta Company?
Yes.
Wow.
They were all in my squad.
Oh,
when,
okay.
when we got
Can
here.
you give me a list of names sometime?
Okay.
For, if I don't, do I have them on our list?
No, I don't think so. You
Wow.
might have Bob Richardson, but not the rest.
I don't, you know, I don't recall who's on the list, so
Yeah.
I have a terrible memory. While I'm on that subject, you know, we gotta give John Pugh credit. Every time I tell anybody, we gotta give John Pugh credit. We ended up, prior to last year's reunion, 90 people on the list. We either had an email address, we had a phone number, or we had an address. But it came from all you people. And what we need is orders. And the orders give us people's current home address. And the reason that is because there's social security numbers on that, and we have a source that we can run social security numbers and get current utility addresses. And by doing that, then we get people sitting in this room. So please, if you haven't done it, go back home and go through your garbage list like I have, boxes and all that. If you got any orders, Xerox me a copy and mail it to me. The banner. Everybody should know that did everybody sign the banner? Did any,
I haven't yet.
could you please do it now?
I'm getting kinda embarrassed standing up there for
I don't know, Dave.
That's what you get for
But,
glass.
okay, I'll move on, because it's getting hot in here. The banner, we're gonna raffle it off now, and whoever gets it, did anybody wanna buy raffle tickets that didn't buy raffle tickets?
I didn't
Oh,
know
okay.
What are we raffling?
Oh, I'm sorry,
There.
the banner behind you, we're gonna raffle off. Last year I took it home, and I said, why did I end up with it? I mean, I think everybody should have a chance at getting the banner. So we've been selling raffle tickets here since yesterday, and we got X number sitting in here, and they're
LAW.
$1 apiece or 5 for 6 for 5. So how many you would want?
I guess a dozen.
It's Little.
It wasn't that hard, see?
I'm sweating bullets.
I know. You thought it was related to work, so.
I'm gonna tell you why I print. When I was in high school, I had the worst handwriting in the world, and I had a music teacher, Paul Service, because he had a fill-in-the-blank test. And he seen mine, he had me have to come up to the desk and answer what I wrote. And he says, you know what, David? I've never met anybody that has the worst handwriting than me. And you start printing, and that's how I started printing.
You could have had time.
Can you imagine though you being Little Day?
What else can we talk about while I'm doing this? Oh, let's talk about where we want to go next. Well, let's say, do we want to do this every year? Do we want to do it every other year? Do we want to do it every 5 years? What's the consensus?
I don't think we should do it 5 years. Looking around, there's a lot of us that won't make it.
Okay.
5 years from now, we'll get there.
Probably every year. It'd be better.
Lynn, I actually think it should be done every year because I think it's very therapeutic to everybody. You know?
I think we ought to go camping.
Ladies, but I try to get my husband to go camping. He says, I camped for 11 months in Vietnam. I am not camping.
We could play.
Unless it's on.
Let's go golf. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul, we can live off the land.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, in 2014, my OCS class, since we did so well at Branson last year, the consensus, well, I didn't give them a choice. I do the work, so I tell them where they're going. And I said, you're going to Branson? They, oh yeah, great, we'll get to go to the shows. And then on the humor side, I said afterwards, we're gonna go down to Cotter, Arkansas, and we're gonna go fly fishing, or we're gonna go float trip, and I guarantee everybody a minimum of 20 trout. And I thought I was being humorous, and immediately everybody jumped on that. So what we're gonna do, and you gotta remember the same age you guys are, in about 2 years, and we're camping out. I've got friends that have this island, and they run guide service. So they have a guide and 2 people on every boat, and we're gonna go out trout fishing, and that night we're gonna spend in their tents on the island. And they, pan fry trout for them, and it's just unbelievable. Very expensive. But, who gave me this? Oh, you. And so anyway, that's what we're doing. And you mentioned camping, and and so that's what we're actually doing.
Good idea, Paul.
I don't, that was 3 years ago, Paul, we agreed to that. And I'm trying to think, when this time comes around, we'll all be 65 to 70. And how many wives want to go out and spend a night in a tent? So if the wives don't go, what are we gonna get? Motel rooms for them? And, it's gotta be $500 to $600 per guy. I don't, anyway, we'll see how it comes about. But we do, anybody know Kirkland, it's home furnishings?
Yeah.
The CEO of Kirkland went to our school, Officers Candidate School, and there's one at Branson on the landing, and we're gonna embarrass him into coming up with some money. Okay, did everybody get a ticket that wanted a ticket? Okay. So Dave, do you still have yours?
Yep.
Okay, Dave lost his last night, but we.
I was jumped.
So I gotta find, how can I find a disinterested person? Maybe I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you don't have your ticket, we'll have a second drawing and a third drawing. Oh, who? The disinterested person? The spokeslady?
Oh,
That's it, that's it. Only one ticket, only one banner.
Where's the winner?
And the last four is 6328.
Nobody got it? Oh, that's me!
6328.
I got 6328.
Oh.
Wow, our senior man. So, when you get ready to leave, take it down, take it home, okay?
Everybody signed it. Everybody signed it so far.
Yeah, I think Dave was the last one, so we got everybody that was at the reunion. Yes, sir.
I was just gonna say, can we, if Larry's not leaving right away, can we take it over there tomorrow if the 5 guys leave?
Okay, let me tell you, I have an email on this, from whoever helped me with it. Anybody know the guy's name? Gallery or something like that. Whoever's the chairman of the reunion. I wrote him, and I had heard stories how, first the 6 was here, and he said, we don't do that. We don't do that. I said, well, I have a banner I want to bring over for, like you and I talked about, a point for everybody to rendezvous around. We don't do that. But I'll be happy to take this over there tomorrow and have him tell me, take that down or something like that.
What are they gonna do, send us Hey. to Vietnam?
Yeah, man, what are they gonna do, try to kill us?
Okay, let's
We're
get back
better
to
armed
the
than they are
subject
anyway.
was, Dave gave his speech, because this is the most important thing in his life. He wants to do it every month. So do we have another option on the floor? So annually, I see the heads going, yes, okay. We gotta work as a group to get more people to come, okay? I don't think me sending out emails, you calling your buddy up and embarrassing him to death and say, you gotta come, okay? If everybody agrees to that, we've got 17 people, 18 people, got 18 people in this room. I take that back. I had Bill Doyle and I had Larry Cheek both saying, of course, Bill Doyle 2 days ago said, well, I'm working on getting an airline ticket. So that kind of totally, he's not coming. But anyway, those are the 2 that didn't show. So anyway, if we all agree to make it a group effort to work on trying to get people to come. Now, the next suggestion I've got is moving it toward the west. And I think we did Branson, we did the East Coast. Yeah. Montana, this man's from, yes, sir.
Boy, first time I ever was addressed like that.
I know
Yeah, I'm used to working construction, and it's not
Nashville.
I thought I was heard somebody.
Oh, that's where the national is, and I'm sorry.
America.
Let me give my opinion of what I've heard and the emails I've exchanged with the guys, why you're not coming and everything, and they want to just have Delta 1st to the 6th reunion.
Yes.
They don't wanna button it up against what we're doing here. We went from 36 last year to 17. And that's a major, it's, you know, minus 20 people right there. And so I don't wanna, you know, go through all that effort again and then have, you know, I love what we got. We were last night talking about the benefits of this versus last year. Last year we had that big ballroom, which was fantastic. Only trouble was you had a group here, group there, group there. And I didn't hear anything. You know, I'd sit with this group for a while and then go over and sit with that group. Last night I heard more neat stuff about Delta 1st to the 6th than all of the years combined. Because we were in this big circle last night in here, and I hope we do it again tonight after we get our tummies filled. We sit in here and just let it go, and it is so cool. And I know the wives that were sitting in here thought, wow, they did more than, you know, go swimming in the pond. Anyway, that's that. Okay, so we're gonna do it annually, and now, anybody wanna, pardon? Hey, there you go. Yes, Dave.
Lynn, I can put you in contact with my cousin. She's a vice president at the Bellagio, John? Yeah. Bellagio. She's one of the vice presidents.
Okay. What we do need is wherever we pick, we have to have somebody on the ground. And that's the only way it works. You know, somebody to coordinate with the hotel, come up with an event like we did the Showboat last year, which was cool. You know, come up with an event like that that gives us something to do besides just sit here. You know, it gets, yes, sir.
Having Tucson then, because we just made a trip out west and I forgot all about the military graveyards there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And he's talking about Davis Monthan Air Force Base, the graveyard, and the museum that they have.
Yeah.
Aviation Museum, which incorporates some military. Do you know that's where Pearl and I lived for 36 years? Tucson. Pearl and I lived in Tucson for 36 years.
I know that's what you
Oh.
said.
Anyway, that's an idea to do it there or Vegas. I was in a cigarette lighter club, and every other year we did Vegas, and our participation was double every time we did Vegas, because you got all those shows, you got people that want a vacation. Is there a second on that? Oh my gosh. Okay, that took care of that. Okay, now, who do we know in Nevada?
Flights are cheaper there too.
Yeah. Who do we know in Nevada?
Dave has connections.
Yeah, like I said, my cousin.
Well,
That's where Kurt and Kyle Bush is.
yeah, the only trouble there is you know, one of our people that are there, and you know, I hate taking your cousin and asking her to be responsible to coordinate a reunion in Vegas.
But you know, sometimes they'll do that. I mean, those hotels will take that responsibility.
Okay,
To get the group.
Okay, well, we've got a year. Okay, let's.
Maybe I need to go out there for a month or so.
There you go.
I better go with you.
Yeah, we need to have a recon.
Okay, so we're going to Vegas.
We need everybody to chip in, and Dennis and I'll go out there.
I'll buy her sauerkraut.
What time of the year? We did this year, obviously, because of, and last year, I don't have a clue why we did it in September, but it just worked out.
Yeah, you don't want to go, we lived there for 5 years. You don't want to go in the summer.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
September.
September, October would be good.
September.
Yeah.
So are we saying this time of year then, since we all kind of at least showed up this year?
September,
Hey.
like this time, or maybe even a little
Paul
bit
and
later.
Gail used to live there. You know friends.
No, we know the casinos. Those were my friends.
Yeah.
My friends in my wallet went to the casino.
So
Okay.
they said they were your friends.
Fair weather friends is what they
Geez,
were.
that's it.
Gil, you're good on that.
Okay, anything else we should talk about, or, okay, so we're gonna go next year, we're gonna go in September, we're gonna find somebody, and maybe, you know, maybe I go through the roster, maybe we've got somebody already, that lives in Vegas. But right now, I don't know, and we've got she's your cousin?
Yeah.
Okay, And are you in good standing with your
Oh,
cousin?
yeah. I'll tell you what, this girl's done really fantastic. She only has a high school diploma from Brookville High School.
Yeah?
And she worked her way up from a cashier to a vice president at Bellagio. And
Great.
She's a
Great.
super fantastic person.
Yeah, she must be. That's a big time.
Yeah.
And that's I've stayed there, that is a nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
She adopted or you adopted?
I was adopted. Tell you a story about
Okay,
her.
anything else before I shut up and sit down? Okay, that's it. That worked out great.
You probably won't go there. I mean,
Look at that.
you don't hear all this.
Watch him.
The only reason I'm
Oh, yeah, I'm glad I'm here because, well, I was there when I went to Kuwait for 30 days. That's where I did it.
Where's everybody, does everybody wanna try and go someplace together to eat tonight?
We did Joe's last night.
We need a buffet.
Pardon?
A buffet would be
Something as a
a big group.
Oh, okay.
Mike, for something.
I don't, we don't know any places.
There's nothing closer than here. Feel pretty good? Feel all right? Yeah. You get paid, I can give you something to make.
Yes, sir.
But I'll talk to them tomorrow. Well, maybe I can get them to sign the menu.
Right on top, if you write on that.
This one?
But they haven't showed up on any of those lots, which I say.
Help you on? PT, whatever you help.
I guess I can get all their information.
I'm just like that here.
I don't remember that registration form. Had you that on there or what it had?
Wow.
No. Tomorrow, Thursday, anytime, go over to Weston, the hotel, Weston, and the Americal division, that's where they're reunion. And they should have people that are
Excuse me. Okay.
Well, I guess we're gonna choose up sides and decide later.
I know what I want to do.
There you go.
Well, we
This
can
is
do one.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's nice. We got it. Well, yes. Where you got some? We didn't know we were going to. I'll get it for us.
Stay up there on top of the bluff.
When I was still there.
Oh, man.
What a good time. Bob Bridges. Bob Bridges. Bob Bridges.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, we might. We can send those ladies shopping.
No,
and
this
we'll go out
is
and
different, right? Yeah.
recon mission.
Recon, that's right, yeah. You're a sniper. Pennsylvania, Philadelphia.
Roger Carroll, I knew him. He came here.
Okay. When did you get there? I think in September of 68. Yeah, I thought about that.
See, I was out there, I was at September, I was
Oh, thank
And then you
you.
were working after
Too bad I'm not done.
I thought you were.
We do have diamonds.
No, these guys
Yeah, but diamonds
came after I did.
What? The only
The one
one
that
in
were
us.
there when I got there,
Go and
which I
take
can't
them.
remember the names. One of them
It's the
was,
state.
they called it French Street.
About $7
And then,
to stay and take your part.
I
And they find
can't remember his name. I got him, I got to have in contact with him. He used to live in Michigan. He's in Carolina. oriented, he's kind of tall, skin guy. But, yeah, so, like I said, and I was gonna bring the picture and I that was our picture. So I'm hoping that Bob, a lot of pictures, I'm hoping he'll bring his.
Yeah, because there's ways to, like Butch had an album of pictures I'd never seen. I think we can make a copy somewhere.
Right.
Scan them.
Oh, yes. We'll see, like I said, they're supposed to be here tomorrow. Yeah, and they were all with Delta, I put them 6, so maybe I can get them. I'll sign
You have those?
No, I gotta get what I call my latest file. Okay.
Hey, everybody, I gotta make an announcement. We're gonna be going to supper. What I would like very much is the more you drink, the better I can sound. So please, drink like pigs.
Where did you decide to go eat at?
I don't know.
Oh, still working on that.
McDonald's sets a nice table.
Who?
McDonald's sets a nice table. So, Charles, did you go on home?
Yeah, it's only like 3 o'clock.
I got it. Both ladies.
Something like that.
Over to the other way.
3:30.
Picked me up. I think I flew 30 feet. Yeah, a lot of guys, most of them knew it, but
I went
that was the last. That was more
10
than
miles
one
from
went
my
off.
house. I went about
I
3
got a
different
chain them
times.
down there, and they went boom, 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 boom. It was,
But what did they do once you got
and
there?
once we really hit the first one, they had the trail lined up
I
over
mean,
there.
did they have spent?
And it was 5 or 6 of them went off.
Well, I wasn't,
Your best friend.
no, I wasn't, they had a couple of dinner things, and I thought, I'm trying to hook up with somebody, and I'm looking, and everybody's got a handwritten name tag. So you know what that is, it's a small